what happened?
Just leaving the port.
Copy. I'll take Delta.
We were just notified that a target vehicle that we know to be involved in smuggling of narcotics was located in the San Diego area. So we are headed to try to intercept that vehicle. We've got air support. The goal right now is just to locate the vehicle, get eyes on, and maintain surveillance to confirm one way or another that the vehicle is loaded. I think I have visual on it right now. Number 3 lane, off, off, off.
Copy. I'll take over here.
Copy. These kind of situations where the vehicle is loaded and these are experienced drivers, they'll try to detect vehicle surveillance units. So when we have air, it allows us that room to not be so easily detected. It's pulling into a parking lot just off the exit.
Anybody in the lot have eyes on the vehicle?
I drop a charging station. It'll probably be the corner. So she will be in the roll. Go out.
Right now we're in a shopping center parking lot. Our target vehicle pulled in and took a parking spot. So we're on one corner of the lot. We've got surveillance units staged in all directions and still have our air support keeping eyes on the vehicle, waiting to see if it changes hands. I think people have the misconception that these deals, whether it's drugs or money or anything illicit, are happening in like dark alleys and, just big cities. But we find that the cartels utilize more public areas, I would say more often than not. That kind of chaos and busyness, I think, works to their advantage, but also we can utilize that to our advantage also. Our suspicion is that there's going to be some counter surveillance involved here. Sometimes there's handoffs, driver swaps, multiple stops. Some of that could be just them going about their regular business while they're killing time to meet the next individual. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Today we're going to be conducting a special operations to see if we can find any people who may be in violation of the currency reporting regulations. We target various flights from South America, from India, from Turkey, and certain African countries. Those are the countries most likely to be involved in currency smuggling because of the economic situations in their country. The flight that we are going to concentrate on today is a Turkish air flight.
We have teams inside the airport, teams on the ground. Management brought in this K9 that's actually specialized in finding money to help us out because of the uptick we've been seeing.
I work a currency and firearms detection K9. His name's Buddy. He's almost 9 years old. Been working him for about 7.5 years now. He's been out there a while. He's real seasoned. Let's go.
Normally our target is hiding or concealing currency out, but smuggling currency in may be used for buying narcotics or furthering a criminal enterprise here in the United States.
Stay to the right. Stay to the right. Thank you. Just keep walking. Stay to the right.
He's nice. He's got a good smile. Sir, stop. Put your backpack on the ground.
Sorry?
Backpack. Good.
Yeah.
in the passenger environment. Everybody carries cash on them. We train the dogs with a threshold. So the dog is basically counting with his nose. Keith, here, Keith. As he's sniffing, when it gets to a certain number of bills, then he alerts me. Thank you. Sir, stop. Bag on the ground. Here. Thank you. He's a passive response dog, so when he finds something, he'll sit or lay or stare at whatever it is, and that tells me I need to give it a look. Boy. Stop him. Put them in.
Sir? Yeah.
Good.
So, sir, you have other bags? One check bag? Okay. We're going to go down and get that. While we were conducting our current operation, our currency K9 had an alert to the baggage of this gentleman, and we're going to bring him in and have a discussion with him and see if he is in fact carrying any currency over the declaration limit. You can step right over here where this officer is. I got to talk to him real quick. This is currency, possible currency violation. All right, sir, we're going to go ahead and get your bag. Let's get in here. It's probably waiting for you right now.
You know, I've been doing this job for about 28 years right now. I can tell you that in the last 10 years, Customs has seen an uptick on the smuggling of cultural property artifacts. So on a regular basis, especially here at JFK, we examine shipments. During the Arab Spring uprising, we saw a huge uptick in smuggled Egyptian artifacts. We've seen an uptick in smuggled Mesopotamian, ancient Sumerian objects. So Customs has taken a vested interest in enforcement of these type of cultural property shipments that are transiting through the United States. We're going to examine a parcel that was identified by our National Targeting Center. There's a potential it may have some rare books in it. Usually with a legitimate shipment of rare books and manuscripts, there's usually a decent amount of documentation to show, hey, this particular country is cognizant that these books have left its border, but we've seen no paperwork that tells us its origin, where it came from, who owned it previously. So we're going to take a look at it and see if it may contain potential cultural property violative materials. Is it? This is our box. Let's cut this thing open. Just be careful.
Oh, look at this.
So we just got to be really careful on how we open this stuff because we don't want to damage anything that's could be irreplaceable.
Oh,
Well, definitely looks kind of old. We should put some gloves on. You know, with some of the other cultural artifacts that are usually made of stone or metal, I mean, you know, you're supposed to have gloves, but if you touch that kind of stuff, you're not going to do it any damage. But if you're dealing with an old manuscript, you don't want to get oil on the pages from your skin, so. Wow. This definitely looks old to me, so. The book appears to be written in Spanish. It looks like it's some sort of arithmetic book, and it appears to be that it might have been published in 1515. 1519, if my history is correct, Hernan Cortez conquered Mexico and the Aztecs. So this book predates that by 4 years. Just be really careful, because now we already established we got one book that potentially might be from 1515. God knows what else we're looking at in this box. Wow.
Oh.
This book feels older than the first one we looked at. Every page so far that I've opened up, the type seems to be in Latin. And what's really fascinating about this book, there's literally handwriting on every page. So it appeared that somebody used this book as some sort of study book, and they were writing with a super fine stylus, probably a feathered quill. You have to be a bit of a geek. You got to be a little bit of a nerd to love stuff like this. We go through thousands of parcels throughout the year looking for narcotics, contraband, but every so often we'll get something like this small book here, and you can't help but recognize that I'm potentially holding a piece of history in my hands. I've learned that, especially in the rare book world, it's a very secretive world. There's no way that someone just mails a rare book to see if it sells. These books are way too valuable and too rare to take that kind of risk. So the fact that a rare bookstore boxed these books and shipped it to the States, I have enough concerns that we're going to detain the shipment. Let's get one of our PhD friends to take a look at this stuff and figure out what exactly do we have.
The gentleman we have in question here, there was an alert by our currency canine to currency in some type of bulk form. We haven't discussed anything with the gentleman, but when we get him to the back, we're going to see if he has any undeclared currency over the clearing amount of $10,000. Did you bring any money from Turkey?
I had some cash. I brought some it back. I think about 1,500. I think.
Okay. So no other cash that you have in your bags or on your person?
No.
Any money that we find now, since you declared only $1,500, is subject to forfeiture if we find it in your bags, okay?
Okay.
Oh, these are nice.
So that's the
issues.
company we do business with sometimes. So I got some gifts
Gifts,
back.
yeah. All right. I'm gonna have to unseal this,
Yeah, that's
just this
fine.
one, yeah. Yeah, everything's cool there. While we went through his bags, we could not find anything concealed. He only had a minimum amount of money under the threshold amount of $10,000. So everything's checked out. Our inspection is complete. Thank you for your cooperation.
Right, I
And here
appreciate
you are.
it. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. The dog alerts to currency that's in large amounts. So the gentleman has currency that is bundled that the dog alerted to, but we searched his bag, we didn't find anything. So we consider that a successful operation.
I got a gray.
With a green marker across the place.
It's in the parking lot. It's searching target vehicle.
Copy, thank you. We have a new vehicle, unidentified at this time.
Parking.
This is pretty typical, either a driver swap or the addition of another person involved in the transportation. So this is a good sign. If those narcotics get transferred into this other vehicle, we're all set up in positions for a takedown.
Target just popped the trunk.
Copy. Put that package into the trunk.
Let's go, 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 go.
Don't move, don't move. Párate, párate, párate.
We've apprehended the secondary driver and the original driver. How many packages were moved into the new
This is
vehicle?
everything. This is everything as we found it.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, he got quite a bit out already.
So this is all that was already transferred into the other vehicle from the original vehicle.
I'm gonna keep those isolated till we have them documented, but then we're gonna consolidate them so they're all in one spot.
So right now we're just getting a count on all the packages, make sure that we have a good accountability for what we've got. So that's 13 of that.
Now we're just essentially processing the scene. We're gonna try to interview everybody involved and see if they can make any statements about their involvement. And if they were, hold on one sec, guys. Actually, we're gonna move on. What's going on?
We think some more people are coming to retrieve this, so we're gonna get out of the area. Go, go, go.
Or how minutes are taken away.
We just need to be ready for whatever happens next. People are coming.
Oh,
Close that. Let's get that squared away.
the pickup crew that's supposed to come and retrieve the vehicle and or the packages in the vehicle is close by.
Go, go, go.
So we're going to basically reset, set up surveillance, keep eyes on the vehicle like we weren't even here, and wait and identify the next crew.
Get set.
I'm just going to reposition somewhere out of the immediate vicinity. So we've left, and we are now waiting for the pickup crew.
Copy. Get your gear ready and stand by for a plan.
We have intel that the crew that was involved with this portion of it is really just the staging crew. The initial driver was in charge of get it to this location and then moving the narcotics from one vehicle to the next. And then that vehicle sits while the pickup crew arrives and comes to pick that up. So we're gonna wait it out and hope that the pickup crew still shows up. And once they approach the vehicle and attempt to access the narcotics from the trunk, we'll move in and make the busts.
See your passport, sir? How you doing? How much cash you traveling with?
None.
No cash?
$5.
All right, we're done. Nigeria has a lot of scams. We've all seen the phone scams, email scams, a lot of things with their banking system going on right now. So people come here and they try to take money back into Nigeria. Maybe they fail to declare it. I mean, there's all sorts of things that people try to hide money when they come out for.
Honestly, I don't pay attention to the people. I'm staring at him most of the time. So, but I don't pay attention if it's a priest, a nun, an old lady. I mean, you see I sniff wheelchairs too. Just stay against this wall. Thank you.
Pop in. Come over here real quick.
Right in this room right here.
How much cash you traveling with today? 10,000? Okay, so all the money you have, just place it up right here for me.
Any more in your wallet?
Yeah, that's what I was about to bring out. That's it.
So basically, we're asking how much you traveled with. You said 10,000, so we're gonna have you write how much initial right here. We'd give them the chance to declare it. We lock them into a binding declaration, and then once we have that, we search their bag, see what else they have, and when we find lots more money, you have to explain where this come from, why you failed to declare it. Do you travel often and outside the United States?
I travel a little bit more. I don't know what the requirement is.
It's 10,000, so you have to make sure that you declare it every time you enter or exit the United States. So for in the future, swing by the customs before you leave, because you're required to report this. Okay, that's all the money. He's declared 10,008. We're just gonna verify real quick. 10,8. All right, sir. I'm gonna have you fill his fin out, and just so you know, if you're traveling more than $10,000, there's nothing wrong with it. You just have to make sure to declare it.
Okay.
He mistakenly didn't realize they were supposed to declare. He told us what he had. He just didn't know about the reporting requirements. We explained it to him, and in the future, he'll know, and he said he won't make the mistake again. He'll let other people know as well.
Thank you.
All right, sir. Happy travels. There's a lot more flights than there is of us, so we try to get out there and hit them hard and go as fast as we can. And we use the dog as well as a great tool, and he can let us know when people have large amount of cash. And in this case, he went great.
So, Doctor, we sent you pictures of the books initially. We have what appears to be some sort of Spanish arithmetic book, probably from the time period of 1515. The other book is a book that we suspect belongs to the Dutch philosopher Desiderius Erasmus, but we're not 100%.
Okay.
So,
Oh, interesting. So this is the ex libris. This indicates who one of the prior owners was. In this case was Gustav Walter Heimann, okay? The former German president. So now looking at the text, here you have the title and the author. So it's the collection of sayings of Erasmus of Rotterdam. It was printed in September 1524.
oh, wow.
The other thing that it's interesting in this cover page is all the annotations that we can see, giving us a sense of who owned this book prior. So here we can keep track of the provenance.
In this time period of the 1500s,
Yep.
who would have been the most likely owner of a book like this?
This is a scholar book. This is somebody that was either a student or a professor at the university or a lawyer or somebody that had a particular interest in Erasmus. And the reason why I mentioned that is it's annotated. There is something in every single page, both in the margins and under the text. It's a heavily used book. That makes it really, really valuable. Besides the value that it will have from a cultural standpoint, this is a rare book. There is 2 or 3 copies of this edition that we know of.
Oh, wow.
There's one in Germany, one in the Czech Republic, and there is one that was in the National Library of Peru. And unfortunately, it was stolen a number of years ago. So the question is this it? So the question is if this book is the one that was from Peru.
Yes.
Okay, and there are a few things that we can check. I checked the catalog from the Library of Peru, and one of the things that it says is that the book indicates that it was printed in Paris. This book doesn't have the place of print, unlike the books in Germany and in the Czech Republic, that they clearly say Paris. not only doesn't have the place of print, but it also lacks the stamps that many libraries put just to prove ownership.
Yes.
This one doesn't have any seal anywhere.
So, Doctor, are we potentially looking at a fourth unknown copy?
Potentially, yes. This could be a copy that nobody knew about its existence.
That's exciting.
I've come across facsimiles. Some of them are extremely well done. So in order to identify a book, you have to first examine it. One of the things I like to do with all books is smell the book. If you've ever been in a library, you've seen that there is a particular smell of all books. This one has it. It's one of the most difficult things to fake, the paper itself. And besides smelling it, you can also hear. Being that it's all paper, it's a much more subtle sound than new paper. And the third thing that it's interesting to do is just touch. Because this paper, if it's authentic, it's not made of cellulose. It's not wood pulp. It's made out of cloth. And this is why these books have lasted as long as they have, because they don't have acid in the paper, so the paper doesn't degrade. I mean, this is a book that is 400 years old and is still pretty much like the day it was printed. There are some stains, but that's it. I mean, there is no damage in the book. The preservation is really good, and it's real paper. It's from the time.
So, Dr. Gago, what is your conclusion on the book?
Well, it's an authentic book, 1524. The book is valuable because not only is potentially an unknown fourth copy, but it's also a copy that is annotated. The other ones have no annotations. This one does, so it makes it a unique book. Again, I think we have a very unique book in our hands.
Oh my God.
Right now, we're eyes on both of the vehicles, awaiting, well, hopefully, the next pickup crew.
Older Nissan inbound. Is off your rear. I got it turned away.
Since we don't know what kind of vehicle we're expecting, everybody, you know, in different parts of the parking lot is just kind of on the lookout for anything that, you know, looks out of the ordinary, or anybody looking around, kind of calling out vehicles as they come just for everybody's wherewithal. Looks like the driver of that black sedan is out, messing with his door.
I think he's cleaning his car, he's wiping out doors. Not related.
10-4. With the volume of narcotics in this particular vehicle, you're talking thousands, if not millions of dollars worth of merchandise that's important to the drug trafficking organizations, the cartels. Firearms are often found with these narcotics, and some of them are not, you know, not willing to go down easily, so the risks are very real.
Four-door Honda. His eyes locked on in our corner. He hasn't broken his gaze towards that corner yet.
So we have a vehicle that just approached.
There's a male walking up towards this direction. Meeting him now. Might be our guy. When we get the signal to open the trunk and everything, that will be the signal to move in.
Copy.
Trying to open the trunk. Trunk of V2 is open. Gonna move in now. What?
I've got him over here from the front. No, Manos arriba.
So this was a vehicle that met with one of our suspects from earlier in the day, essentially to pick up a load of narcotics.
Ahorita, cálmate, ¿ok? ¿Ok? Todo está bien, ¿ok?
Finding who is coming to pick these drugs up is important to us. It helps build that investigation and then even further disrupt and dismantle the next level of the narcotic smuggling organization.
Now we're just essentially processing the scene. We're going to try to interview everybody involved and see if they can make any statements about their involvement. At the end of the day, I think their greed is what pays off for us because they end up coming in for these drugs and we end up getting the arrests.
Come on, let's go. Come on this way, okay? This way over here.
We're taking the vehicle that was loaded with the narcotics and all the narcotics back to the port of entry, where we will process the seizure and conclude with the interviews of the 3 people that we arrested today.
Let's move on to the second book.
The binding of this book is very different from the previous one. This is not paper, this is not cardboard, this is parchment, because we can still see the pores where the hair was growing out of the animal skin. One thing that really struck me was this annotation in pencil.
Yes.
Okay, it says, facsimile edition, Valencia, 1977. And then looking at the book itself, looking at the way the pages lay, the use, this is not a facsimile.
So that annotation, Doctor, you think somebody might have put that in there like a red herring to throw us off, to make us think it's a much later copy instead of maybe potentially an original copy?
Yes, we are talking about more than likely an original. Okay.
Wow.
So this is a really interesting book because the book, it says, the title, translated into English, it says, Brief Summary of the Practice of Arithmetic in Mercantile Exchanges. And then this is really interesting because it's teaching how you count with your hands.
With your fingers.
With your fingers.
Wow. I love this stuff. This is great. So this is essentially a mathematics book as it pertains to business and commerce.
This is a textbook for accounting.
I see.
What it is that you need to know to be an accountant in the 16th century.
Wow.
There are 2 different versions.
Of this book?
Yes. One of them is dedicated to account, and this one is dedicated to the bishop. So you see, it's the same book, but it has
different coat of arms.
Coat of arms.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
I was able to find references to 10 copies of this 1515 printing. The one dedicated to the bishop is the more rare of the 2.
What a home run that is.
And that's what makes it really valuable. This is the real deal.
The Spanish arithmetic book was valued by the appraisers at $40,000 in value. Well, Doctor, thank you very much. You filled the gaps on a lot of things that we really didn't know. A lot of people don't realize that CBP detains these things. And here we are, we're sitting on a book that has a lot of historical significance, and a lot of countries want their cultural property back into their hands. So this kind of helps us figure out where this book needs to be returned to. So I appreciate all the insights you give us.
Currently, we are waiting for a target. Subject has an adoption agency, and we believe that he might be using that as a cover to move money back and forth. So we're gonna wait for the target to come and show intention that he's actually leaving the United States with $10,000 or more.
Oh, there he is.
What?
How much cash you traveling with?
$300.
Any other currency? Besides dollars?
Just like someone that wants to allow
Right now, we're doing inspection, we stop the people. So you've been selected to do an additional inspection.
Hello, how you doing? We're conducting an outbound inspection today for people traveling outside the United States.
Okay.
So today, how much money are you traveling with?
There's cash in here, which I got to get out and tell you how much is here. There's some in
That's
there,
fine.
but this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 550, 650, 67, 80, 90, 610, 630, 632 of my cash.
Okay. And how much other cash do you have?
And then I've got probably, I know I've got 50,000 plus.
Wait, I'm sorry, what? I need to know how much cash you have.
It's 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'd be 50, 60, 70 minus 2 would be 68.
$68,000
even.
cash?
Yes.
Okay. He said that he had $632 that belonged to him. And right before he was gonna confirm, he paused and then he stated that he was also traveling with additional $60,000 that was not his. So I need you to sign right here, stating that you're declaring this much. All right. I'm gonna have a series of questions I'm gonna ask him regarding his trip, and based on how he answers these questions, that amount could be seizable. Explain to me exactly what are you gonna do with the money?
I have NGO
Right.
from Malawi, and we have a construction project.
Okay.
And so I'm bringing cash over to start that project.
Because it's such a large amount,
Okay.
we do have to verify it.
Yeah, sure.
So he's gonna go through your bags, we're gonna pull out all the cash, we're gonna leave it right here.
Sure.
When was the last time you went outside the country?
Probably December. I probably went
Last year?
12 times last year, yeah.
So out of the 12 times you did last year, not one time you traveled more than 10,000?
No.
Okay. So we are gonna verify the currency.
Right.
So when did you guys start this project?
This project started last week. We just opened up a base in orphanage as well.
Okay.
We just got the money donated.
68,632. So
Just say that.
yeah, that's the total. Yeah. Do you have a receipt when you made the withdrawal?
Yeah, 100%. So this would have been on right there.
Okay. Is this money going to get deposited in a foreign bank account, or it's going to stay cash and liquid?
No, it'll go into a standard bank account.
Okay. Anytime you're traveling outside the United States, or if you're
Okay.
coming in, if you have $10,000 or more,
Okay.
you have to declare it to the U.S. government. So essentially what you should have done is when you checked in and you checked your bags, you should have told the airline, hey, I need to go see customs.
Oh, okay.
His story of checking out, the more he answered, the more proof he gave me. He filled out all the paperwork that he needed. So I had no reason to hold him. Do you have any questions for us?
I don't think so.
Okay. You are good to go.
Okay, appreciate you
So,
guys.
all right, thank you.
We're here looking for bad guys. People we caught today, all of them, they were just mistakenly didn't realize they were supposed to declare. You know, it's a lot of hit or miss, a lot of searching bags, searching people, interacting with them, and you do as many as you can a day, and hopefully at the end of the day, you You catch somebody and no, you live to see another day and you try harder the next day.
Powder pills.
Yep. They're just doing a full search of the rest of the vehicle just for protocol and make sure that there's no other packages that were left behind. What's that? While they were finishing the search of the car, they found a tracker that belongs to the drug trafficking organization. How was it powered on?
It's connected right here. The wire. Right here. See how it is?
Okay. It's pretty common that we find them, but obviously this is a pretty substantial load for them and they want to keep tabs on it, so we will seize that and see if there's anything that we can get useful off of this.
Over here.
So we found another tracker. 2 trackers. Right now we're separating all the different types of narcotics, and then each of them will be tested based on the different packaging and types of suspected drugs. First, we'll test these pills. Very curious. Looks like they're positive for fentanyl. So with the size of the narcotics load that was in this vehicle, it's obviously, this isn't the first time that this organization or this crew has done this.
Cocaine.
It appears to be a multi-drug load, which is also another sign that this is a pretty experienced organization or crew.
Ended up with 27 packages of meth, 12.72 keys. Almost 15 keys of fentanyl pills. It's about 150,000 pills. Over 10 kilograms of powdered fentanyl. And about 5 packages of cocaine.
Overall, today was very successful. Not only did we end up with a pretty significant seizure of drugs, but our ability to identify multiple levels of the organization is critical. It's why we do our jobs. Seizing the drugs is obviously very important and not letting those drugs hit the streets, but being able to disrupt the organization and prevent them from transporting or smuggling future shipments is even more important for the long run.